What's going on, y'all? Go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn those notifications on. We're back at it again. And today, the drama just keeps on boiling. I saw something on Facebook that had me doing a double take. Keith Price is allegedly stepping in as the new CEO of INA. Yeah, let that marinate for a second. If I read that right, and from the comments I saw under the post, including one from Jeb himself, it looks like that news might actually be legit. And honestly, I can't even say I'm shocked. Not surprised. Maybe just intrigued. See, Jeb's had a completely different read on Keith Price than most folks. I remember a while back, 6, maybe 7 or even 8 months ago, they did a video together, and to my surprise, it looked like they found some kind of middle ground, a mutual understanding. Even, now me, personally, I don't trust Keith Price any further than I can throw him, especially with the track record he's got. Anybody who's been cozy with Tiffany Henyard, yeah, I'm side-eyeing them all day. But this move, weird as it may be, it could actually end up working in Jeb's favor. Maybe. That's the thing, though. Why would Keith even take that job? That's what I keep circling back to. Because let's be real, stepping into a CEO role at INA doesn't exactly scream easy money. It's not a chill gig. It's a hot seat, surrounded by pressure, scrutiny, and political landmines. So the only reason I can imagine Keith taking it is if he knows something, if he's got info that could shake things up. Maybe he's got leverage. Maybe he's making moves behind the scenes. Either way, the heat just got turned way up. One more unpredictable piece added to this already chaotic puzzle. And now, all eyes are definitely on him. Now, to be clear, not everyone's buying what Keith is selling. A lot of folks are still side-eyeing him. Rightfully so. For years, his name's been floating around in all kinds of messy situations, especially ones tied to Tiffany. So while Jeb may have extended a hand, the rest of us, we're watching from the sidelines with popcorn in one hand and skepticism in the other. But I gotta say, that relationship between Jeb and Keith, that's a wild card. It's like there's some mutual respect there, some shared history we don't fully understand. Word on the street is Jeb's known him for a while. So maybe there's more to this than we know. But let's not miss the bigger point. If the CEO move is real, it makes Tiffany Henyard look even worse. Because now, Keith Price is clearly no longer on her side. If he's working with Jeb or the INA, he's officially one of the Judases she's always ranting about. You know how she loves to say she's surrounded by snakes? Well, if this is true, Keith Price just slithered right into her enemy camp. And I'm telling you, between Keith Freeman and Keith Price, it seems like every man named Keith eventually flips on Tiffany. It's like she's cursed by the name. And honestly, it's a little funny, but also kind of poetic. This whole situation just keeps getting juicier. And it might finally be the push that forces some real answers out into the open. Answers Tiffany's been ducking and dodging for way too long. And if Keith Price is really on the right side now, then he better come with receipts. Real ones. Because unless he's ready to start telling the truth and exposing what actually went down, I'm not interested. I don't need any more vague gestures or political posturing. Either speak up or step out. And let me be real with y'all. If it were me making the call, I wouldn't have hired Keith for anything. Not a single thing. The man's reputation ain't great, and his work ethic, debatable at best. He's been cashing checks and chilling in the background for years. Sitting still is his strong suit. So if this role is real, I'm hoping Jeb just gave him a desk and told him to look busy. Because Keith, he's not built for heavy lifting. Let's not pretend otherwise. When I first heard the news, I had to laugh a little. I thought, hold up, don't tell me Jeb went full petty and gave this man a job at a food pantry. Like, what if this was just an elaborate troll? A chess move meant to get under Tiffany's skin? I mean, come on, opening a food pantry and then putting Keith in charge? That would have been next level petty. But nah, that doesn't seem to be the case. At least, I hope not. This move might be deeper than that. Or maybe it's just a soft landing spot for someone with a lot of baggage. So now I want to hear from y'all. What do you think? Is Keith Price's new role at INA a smart strategic move? A red flag? Or Just another confusing twist in an already tangled web of village politics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if anyone out there has more info, something solid, not just Facebook whispers, hit me up. Because this story, oh, yeah, it's one we definitely need to keep watching. I don't even know what to call this whole thing exactly, but it's got my attention. It's giving messy. It's giving subplot. That's the best word I got for it. Just another subplot in the never-ending circus that is Dolton. You feel me? Another twist in the saga. Another character stepping out from the shadows. And this time it's none other than Keith Price. Or, as I now like to call him, Kefatimus Price. Shout out to Jeb for making another wild move, and shout out, reluctantly, to Kippy, even though I still wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you. And let me be honest, Keith, you've been way too deep in Tiffany's camp for way too long. So yeah, we got questions. Big ones. Look, maybe Jeb sees something the rest of us missed. Maybe KP's got some hidden talents or insider knowledge that make him worth the gamble. That's Jeb's business. But if Keith Price is really sitting in that CEO chair at INA, then I need him to drop something real. I'm talking tea. I'm talking headlines. Something that makes us go, okay, now we're listening. Because until then, you're still the guy who sat front row in the Tiffany Henyard show while the village burned behind her. This one's just a quick update. I had to bring this nugget to your attention. Word on the street is KP is now officially working with INA. And not just with them. He might actually be the CEO. Yeah, CO. I saw a post floating around Facebook that said as much, and it had Jeb in the comments too. So I'm taking it semi-seriously. But listen, if anyone out there can confirm this for real, hit me up, because this one might be bigger than we think. Now, while that was brewing, I saw something else pop off, and this one's straight from the Chicago Tribune. Small article, but the headline said everything. Tiffany's affidavit just got tossed. Yep, you heard that right. The Edgar County watchdog straight up rejected her affidavit. No hesitation. No back and forth. They looked at that weak attempt and hit her with the legal version of girl by... Now Bo Brisket-Brindley, her crusty clearance rack lawyer, has to go rewrite the whole thing. Back to the drawing board, with a fresh lie that hopefully sounds more believable than the last one. Because here's the thing, these watchdogs, they are not falling for Tiffany's games. She tried to slide a document into court, saying she didn't have any of the requested FOIA materials, like nobody was going to challenge that. And the watchdog said, nah, try again. And they're right. She's holding back. We all know it. She's keeping those documents buried for a reason. Because once those records hit daylight, it's over. Game over. End credits. Roll tape. So let's really talk about the audacity it took for Tiffany to walk into court and send her attorney in there claiming she had zero documents. Like the watchdogs was going to shrug and say, okay, thanks for trying. Nah, these people are veterans. They've been pulling receipts before Tiffany even figured out how to glue that stiff wig down. And after all that nonsense, she had the nerve to stand in front of the camera and say, I was successful in court. Girl, be serious. You pled the fifth. You dodged every single question. You tap dance around the truth like your freedom depended on it. Because it does. The only win she got that day was not getting cuffed on the spot. And that's just because the hearing wasn't about locking her up. But don't get comfortable, Tiffany. That federal pressure is still building. And the one that really matters? That FBI investigation. That's the one with teeth. That's the one that'll flip everything inside out. And now, here's where it gets even spicier. I'm starting to wonder if Keith Price already knows what's coming. Remember when he had that meltdown on Facebook? Throwing out threats, causing chaos. People were saying law enforcement had to step in. That wasn't just a rant. That was pressure. That was panic. So now I'm asking, has Keith already had a little chat with the feds? Has somebody pulled him aside and said, look, you better get ahead of this? Because if that's the case, and now he's aligning with Jeb and INA, that could mean a lot. He could be flipping. He could be cooperating. Or maybe he's just covering his tracks, getting himself out of blast zone before it's too late. Either way, this story just got hotter. And y'all know me. I'm going to keep watching every single move. So go ahead and drop a comment below. What do you think about Keith Price stepping into that CEO seat? Is it a smart play, a shady pivot, or just another setup for a bigger twist coming soon? And if anybody out there has legit confirmation or more receipts, send them my way. You know I'm not afraid to dig. And don't forget, smash that like, hit that subscribe, and turn those notifications on. Because this thing, it's just getting started. And you better believe I'll be right here with more tea real soon.